El pretérito. El pretérito in Spanish is a verb tense used to talk about actions and past events. We have regular conjugation for the verbs that end in R, and then regular conjugations for the verbs that end in er and ir, and they share the same endings in this case, different than the verbs that end in R. Please note that the endings for the first person yo and the third person singular él, ella, and usted have accent marks in the last vowel. There are a lot of irregular verbs in the preterite tense. I have classified those irregular verbs in 5 groups. The first group are the verbs that end on car, gar, and thar. Those verbs change to que, ge, and the just only in the first person conjugation. For example, aparcar, yo aparqué. Apagar, yo apagué. Cazar, yo cacé. The second group is the verbs that share the same conjugation, ser and ir. They have the same conjugation, fui, fuiste, fue, fuimos, fuisteis, fueron. The context will determine if it means verbo ser or verbo ir, but they are conjugated the same. The third group are the verbs that change in the stem and in the first and third person singular. There are verbs like poder, tener, poner, saber, estar, querer, hacer, and venir that have a stem change before conjugate them with their endings according to er. Also for verbo hacer, there is an additional spelling change that changes the C for a Z in front of an O ending. For example, él hizo. There is also a change on the first and third person singular, yo, and él, ella, y usted for that spelling. Note that they don't have accent mark in the irregular form. The next group are the verbs like traer, and most of the verbs that end on thir. These have a stem change for a J and also omit the letter I in the third person plural, ellos, ellas, ustedes. Yo traje, trajiste, trajo, trajimos, trajistes, trajeron. For a verb that end on thir, like conducir, conduce, condujiste, condujo, condujimos, condujisteis, condujeron. And the last group are the verbs dar and ver that uses the endings of ir and er verbs. And verbo ver doesn't have any accent marks. For example, dar, di, diste, dio, dimos, distes, dieron, and ver is the regular conjugation for the endings of er but without accent marks. This is how we conjugate the preterite in Spanish.